Kokobin village woke up each morning to the sounds of birds calling from the tall odum trees. Women swept their compounds, men prepared for farms, and children chased each other through the dusty paths. Somewhere in the middle of that busy village lived a quiet girl named Essie. Essie was 16, slim, dark-skinned, and beautiful in a calm way. But she never believed she was beautiful. Her stepmother, Ifiekuma, made sure of that. Every morning, Essie swept the compound, fetched water, cooked breakfast, and washed clothes before the sun rose fully. If one grain of rice spilled, Ifiekuma shouted, "Look at you, you can't even walk well. Who will ever like a girl like you?" Even when Essie did something right, Ifiekuma still found fault. She would stand with her hands on her hips and shake her head as if Essie was a burden brought into her life. But Essie's greatest pain was not her stepmother's voice, it was her father's silence. Kweku Sefa had been a warm man when Essie's mother was alive, but after the death and his marriage to Ifiekuma, something about him changed. He hardly looked at Essie. When Ifiekuma shouted at her, he pretended not to hear. When Essie tried to talk to him, he always found something urgent to do. The village saw Essie as a hard-working girl, but they didn't know the heaviness she carried. When she walked to the stream, the other girls chatted and laughed, but Essie kept to herself. She always held her head down, believing she was not worth anyone's attention. One evening, after she had finished pounding fufu, Ifiekuma called her. "You, Essie, come here." She walked slowly. Ifiekuma stared at her from head to toe. "Sometimes I wonder if you were even my husband's blood. You look nothing like him. Your mother really didn't leave me anything good." Essie bit her lips and kept quiet. She had learned that any reply brought more trouble. Later that night, she lay on her raffia mat, staring at the ceiling. She could hear her father and stepmother talking in their room. She wondered how life would feel if her mother was still alive. The thought alone brought tears. She wished someone, anyone, would just tell her she was enough. In that quiet darkness, she prayed silently. Her life was about to change, but not in the way she hoped. The next day, Essie was sent to buy palm oil and salt. She walked with her small basket, her head still bent as always. Near the big silk cotton tree, she heard someone call, "Hey, excuse me, you dropped this." She turned and saw a boy around her age holding a small cloth she used to tie the basket handle. She didn't even know it had fallen. "My name is Yaumensa," he said gently. "I've seen you around." Essie nodded shyly and took the cloth. She expected him to walk away, but he didn't. "You look sad," he said softly. "Are you all right?" Nobody had ever asked her that question. Nobody had ever looked at her enough to notice her sadness. Her chest tightened. She didn't even know what to say. So she shook her head and tried to walk away. But he walked beside her. "It's okay if you don't want to talk," Yao said. "Sometimes silence talks too." Those words melted something inside her. Over the next weeks, Essie kept meeting Yao. Sometimes by accident, sometimes because he waited along the path he knew she used. He spoke kindly, listened patiently, and complimented her in ways she had never heard. "You have a warm smile," he said once. "You are thoughtful. You are strong." Essie had never heard such words before. They felt like rain on dry soil. And Yao could see it. He could see that she craved affection. He could see her loneliness, her hunger for kindness, and slowly, he used that to draw her close. One evening, after she had just been shouted at for a mistake she didn't make, she ran to the old mango tree near the edge of the village. Yao found her crying. "Don't cry," he whispered, placing his hand on her shoulder. "If they can't see your worth, I can." No one had ever spoken to her like that. That night, under the mango tree, holding on to the only person who ever made her feel seen, Essie made a mistake. One that would change her life forever. Weeks passed. Essie didn't feel well. She avoided food. Her body felt heavy. One morning, she collapsed while washing clothes. Ifiekuma rushed to her, not with concern but suspicion. "What is wrong with you?" Essie couldn't speak, but the truth came out soon enough. She was pregnant. Her stepmother screamed. Her father froze. The whole village whispered. When Yao heard the news, he vanished. He stopped meeting her, stopped calling her name, avoided her completely. Essie's world shattered. The little confidence she had gained disappeared overnight. Her stepmother's cruelty doubled. Her father's silence became anger. Her home was no longer a home. And one dawn, with her small bundle of clothes and her unborn child, Essie left Kokobin behind. Essie walked barefoot until the sky turned grey. Her feet hurt, her eyes were swollen, and the weight of her pregnancy pressed against her small body. She did not know where she was going. She only knew she could not stay. By mid-morning, she reached Kwabin, a neighboring town. She sat under a shed, tired and trembling. People passed. Some glanced at her, others ignored her. Then an elderly woman approached her. My daughter, are you all right? Essie shook her head. The woman crouched beside her. My name is Mama Into. Come home with me. Essie hesitated, but the woman's voice was gentle, her eyes warm. When they reached Mama Into's compound, the woman gave her food, water, and a cloth to bathe. For the first time in many months, Essie slept without fear. In the days that followed, she helped Mama Into with cooking, sweeping, and selling vegetables. She learned to smile again, slowly. Mama Into treated her like a daughter, something she had never known from Ifiekuma. Meanwhile, in Kokobin, her father felt something he hadn't felt in years, regrets. His home was quiet, too quiet. His heart felt heavy. One afternoon, he heard his wife speaking to a friend under a mango tree near their house. Her voice was slow but sharp. If only that girl had died when her mother died, my life would have been peaceful. Every time I see her, I remember what her mother did to me. Kweku Sefa froze. He hid behind the kitchen wall and listened. She took the love I should have had. You know Kweku liked me first, but he chose her, and now her daughter is here, walking around with that same face. I can't stand it. Kweku's chest tightened. His breath caught in his throat. Ifiekuma continued, and I want that Yao boy to make her life miserable. I paid him to stay close to her. I didn't know he would make her pregnant, but, well, it even helped my plans. The world around Kweku bled. His heart felt like fire. His wife had destroyed his child's life. All the pain Essie went through was planned, and he, her own father, stood aside and let it happen. That night, he couldn't sleep. Essie was gone, and every memory of ignoring her broke him. He had to find her. Kweku Sefa left Kokobin at sunrise. He asked people on the road, farmers in nearby villages, and women selling at the markets. At Kwabin, someone finally said, we saw a young pregnant girl. She stays with Mama Into. His heart almost stopped. When he reached the house, he saw Essie sweeping the compound slowly, her stomach showing. She looked peaceful but older, wiser, different. Essie, he whispered. She turned. Their eyes met, and all the pain she had hidden rose to the surface. She didn't move towards him. She didn't speak. Her father fell on his knees. Forgive me, I failed you. I allowed someone to make you doubt yourself. I allowed your stepmother to hurt you. I didn't protect you, and I am ashamed. Essie stood still, tears sliding down her cheeks. Mama Into came out quietly and placed a hand on Essie's shoulder. You can forgive him, she said softly, but forgiveness does not mean you must return to pain. Kweku lifted his head, tears in his eyes. I want you to come home. But if you choose to stay here, I will be grateful that you are safe. Essie looked around the compound, at the woman who had been more of a mother than anyone else, at the peace she had found after so much pain. I forgive you, she said finally, but my home is here. Mama Into saved me. Her father nodded slowly. He knew he deserved nothing more. He stood up and walked towards her. She didn't step back. He hugged her gently, something he hadn't done since she was a child. I will be coming to visit you, he said softly. I will be a better father. Essie nodded. Behind her, Mama Into smiled. A new life awaited her, one born not from sorrow but from strength, and for the first time, Essie believed she deserved it. The months that followed moved gently, like early morning dew sliding down young leaves. In Mama Into's house, Essie found rhythm she had never known, slow, calm, and full of small joys. Each day, she swept the compound, cooked light soups, helped in the garden, and sold vegetables with Mama Into at the Kwaben markets. For the first time in her life, she felt seen. Mama Into never shouted at her, never made her feel small. When Essie made mistakes, Mama Into simply laughed and corrected her with patience. That warm guidance slowly rebuilt something that had been broken inside Essie for years, her confidence. One evening, when the moon was big and round like a calabash lid, Essie sat outside rubbing her growing stomach. Mama Into joined her with a wooden stool. "My daughter," she said, "how do you feel now?" Essie thought for a moment. "Sometimes I am afraid," she whispered, "but sometimes I am hopeful too." Mama Into nodded. "Hope is stronger than fear. You are stronger than your past." These words settled deep into Essie's heart. She held them tightly. When the first pains came, Essie was pounding kontomire in the kitchen. She dropped the pestle and grabbed the table. Mama Into rushed in and helped her. "Hey, the baby is coming. Let's go." Women from the neighborhood gathered. Some heated water. Others brought clothes. Essie squeezed Mama Into's hand until sweat formed on both their palms. After long hours of crying and pushing, a loud cry filled the room. "It's a girl," the midwife announced. "A girl, a new beginning, a new life." Essie held her child and wept, not from sadness, but from a powerful mix of relief and love. She named her Inshira, meaning blessing. Mama Into smiled proudly. "You have done well, Essie. Your life has just opened." True to his promise, Kweku Sefa visited often. He brought fruits, soap, baby clothes, and sometimes just his presence. At first, he stood far from the baby, unsure if he deserved to hold her. But one afternoon, as Essie watched close, he approached gently. "Can I carry her?" he asked. Essie hesitated, but nodded. He lifted Inshira carefully, as if she were made of feathers. Tears filled his eyes as he rocked her slowly. "I should have been this soft with you," he whispered, not to the baby, but to Essie. She said nothing, but her heart softened a little more. Each visit healed a small part of their broken bond. While Essie was rebuilding her life, things in Kokobin were not the same. News of Efiekume's wickedness had spread. Kweku Sefa did not keep silent anymore. He confronted her. Their home became filled with arguments instead of peace. People began to avoid her. Market women stopped chatting with her. Children didn't accept food from her. Whispers followed her everywhere. She paid that boy to destroy the girl. She is the reason Essie suffered. What kind of woman is this? She no longer had the comfortable life she once enjoyed. The loneliness she once forced on Essie came back to her, and it was heavier than she expected. Kweku Sefa began sleeping in the hall. He spent more time in the carpenter's shed than at home. The marriage that once looked solid was now shaking like a tree in a storm. Efiekuma finally felt the pain she had poured on another. As months passed, Essie grew stronger. She began helping Mama Into with more confidence. People in Kwabin liked her gentle nature. They bought vegetables from her, asked her for help with small chores, and even trusted her to watch their children. One day, a woman at the market said, "Essie, you are good with kids. Why don't you start a small playground? Many of us need someone to watch our children while we work." Essie laughed shyly. "Me? A playground?" "Yes," the woman insisted. "You have patience and kindness. You can do it." The idea stayed with her. At night, as little Inshira slept beside her, Essie planned quietly in her mind. For the first time, she dreamed of a future not shaped by fear, but by purpose. Mama Into supported her fully. "You have a gift, Essie," she said. "Use it." And she began, slowly, gently, confidently. Every day, 3 or 4 children came to Mama Into's compound. She played with them, told them stories, taught them small songs. Parents were happy. The little playground grew. Essie did not just become stronger, she became needed, she became respected, she became whole. One quiet afternoon, while children were singing in the yard, Essie heard footsteps at the gate. When she looked up, her father stood there again, but this time he was not alone. Behind him was Ifiekuma. Her eyes were swollen, her scarf looked loosely tied. Her spirit seemed broken. Essie, her father said, she has something to say. Ifiekuma stepped forward slowly. I came to ask, her voice shook. I came to ask for forgiveness. Essie felt the world go silent. The woman who once made her life miserable, the woman who made her believe she was nothing, the woman who destroyed her childhood, was now standing before her with trembling lips. I wronged you, Ifiekuma said, and life has paid me back. I am not here to take you home. I am only here to say, I am sorry. Essie looked at her child, then at Mama in tow, then at her father. Her heart beat slowly, thoughtfully. I hear you, she said finally, and I forgive you, but I cannot return to the life I left. Tears rolled down Ifiekuma's cheeks. Essie turned away, not out of hatred, but out of strength. She had built a new life. She had found peace. She wasn't going back. Her story was no longer about pain. It was about rising from it. And as the sun set behind the palm trees, little Inshira laughed. A soft, pure sound that filled the compound with hope. Essie smiled.